Hello and welcome to the Browns Blitz. Today is Wednesday, September the 3rd. You guys believe it's September already, which only mean one thing, football, right? So,
You got it.
yeah, this is episode number 311. I'm your host, Rod Bloom. Joining me today is my brother, Jeff. How are things going, Jeff?
Hey, going good, Rod. Hope everybody had a nice Labor Day. Looking forward to the start of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, Nice to have that long weekend. Kind of get ready for the
Got it.
football season. Yeah.
That's
So
right.
the joining us all the way from Germany is our guest. You know him as at Diary of a Dog. His name's Jonathan. Jonathan, how are you tonight?
I
Appreciate you
am.
joining us.
Thank you. I'm good. And first of all, congratulations to 311 episodes. That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, we appreciate it. Absolutely.
I'm looking
So
forward to
this
talking
is the
Browns with you.
excellent. So this is the Browns Blitz. We're part of the Fanatical Elves Network, and we appreciate everybody's support. And be sure to check out the other shows within the network. And you can help us out by subscribing to the network and to the Browns Blitz on YouTube and on iTunes. So we appreciate that if you guys can help us out with that. So let's see, guys. We're going to talk a lot of Browns. We're going to talk about the game that's coming up. It's kind of a special time of year because every team is 0-0 right now, so we can all kind of dream right now, and
Yeah.
we'll talk about what that really means for this team. But before we do that, let's talk about our Blitz beverages and what we may be drinking. And I have a feeling that two of us are drinking something different from the third, Jonathan.
Yeah,
So
I just got a little rest of coffee and some water.
because for two of us, it's about 6:30, and we just around dinner time. And for one of us, it's what is it, Jonathan? Past 12:30?
Yeah, it's 12:30 a.m. for me.
Yeah. Yeah, we appreciate your dedication.
No problem.
So Jeff and I finish up with work and come home. I mean, I came home, ate some dinner, and got ready for the podcast. And Jonathan's like, "Man, are these guys ever going to be ready to jump on here and talk some Browns? It's getting late."
Oh,
So-
good. Oh, good.
So, anyways, Jonathan, is there anything special about the coffee you're drinking you want to share?
That's from a coffee maker from my dad. It's like I don't know what's called in English. It's a Siebträgermaschine. So like some sort of special coffee maker, but that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah,
More
you were
importantly, it has lots of caffeine, right?
Yes, that was the goal.
Right.
Well, which, from what you were telling us, is going to come in handy because with the season starting, this is not the only time you're going to be up late.
No, absolutely not. Like the primetime games are gonna be pretty late in Germany. It's plus 6 hours for me. So if I
Right.
want to watch the primetime games, I have to do some serious night shifts in the coming weeks.
That we think we're dedicated fans here in the States, but that's true
Ah.
dedication, guys.
That's why we love our international fans.
Absolutely, we love having you guys on and talking about it. Definitely.
Good
So-
thing is the Browns aren't having many primetime games, so the Sunday, the early kickoffs on Sunday are like 7 p.m. for us here. So
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
That's perfect.
yeah.
You've got a lot of dinner or evening games. Yeah.
Yes.
That'll be good.
It's
That's
kinda prime time
probably
for us
better
here.
than. Yeah, and it's probably better than a 1:00 kickoff, honestly, on a Sunday. But the 1:00 kind of shoots our whole day, doesn't it, Jeff?
Right. Yeah, for
A little
sure.
bit. So, okay, Jeff, you told me that you have something new, your beverage. So lay it on me.
so-
What do you have there?
All right, so I went back and picked up some more BrewDog. This is actually the BrewDog Cold, the alcohol-free version, obviously. But I really like the different BrewDog varieties, so I thought I'd try something a little bit different. This is kind of a golden ale. Let's see. Yeah, it tastes. I mean, it's pretty light, summery type of beer. Probably no German in his right mind would drink something this light, but get a little bit of lemon in it, almost like a little little lemonade taste to it. So probably would be really good on a 90-degree day if we had another one, which we won't.
Right, right. You got to give BrewDog some credit for coming up with the name too.
Oh my gosh,
With the alcohol free, cold.
Yeah.
Alcohol
Cold
free
AF. Cold AF. You can make that
Yeah.
AF stand for whatever you want it to.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, but no, I've had really good experiences with the BrewDog made here in Ohio, and plenty of great stuff.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. The beer I'm drinking, I picked it up from the fridge because I'm pretty sure it's. I don't think it's brewed in Germany, but it's like a German looking beer, Jonathan. So I thought that I'd pull this out. So this is gosh, and I got my camera on the thing where it turns opposite. So this is a dry hop Zwicky, but on this side it says Bitburger. So I don't know if this is like two breweries together. And this side it says Deschutes, which I think is a brewery here in the States. It tastes kind of German.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's German, right? So
Yes.
yeah. So it looked appropriate for tonight.
There you go.
It's got a nice light flavor to it. So enjoying that during the show. So
and in Germany, that's probably Pabst Blue Ribbon, right, Jonathan?
Bitburger.
Yeah. I don't know. How would a German see that beer, Jonathan?
I'm not really the beer expert, unfortunately. I don't drink alcohol, so I'm probably not the best guy to ask that.
All right.
I think Bitburger is like a solid mid-level beer in Germany, I would say.
Okay.
Mid-level?
All right.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Yeah. Okay. Nice beverage section segment, guys. So let's before we get into the Browns and the game and that, I thought we'd just kind of catch up a little bit with Jonathan, Jeff. And Jonathan, you've been doing a lot of writing in that, and people can access that on your Twitter account just by going to @diaryofaDog. You have links there, and you tweet most of your articles, I believe, out.
Yeah.
So you've been putting quite a bit of content out there. So what are you working on something now, or what's your most recent article that you put out, or the thing that you're most proud of that you put a lot of work into recently?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of draft related things. Well, that's a little bit in the past now, but that was probably the thing I put most work in. Like some positional breakdowns. I think I did QB, offensive tackles, and running backs for this year, and watched a bunch of film and did my little power rankings of the players available in the draft. I also did some off-season recaps. Yeah, currently I don't really work at anything, but I'm wanting to get into the game reviews again. So hopefully, like DAZN, the streaming service in Germany has a nice little feature where you can watch the all 22s. I want to get into that again and do some game reviews for the upcoming games. Yeah.
So you did. Go ahead, Jeff.
Jonathan. Since you did all the draft stuff, why don't you tell us what were your thoughts on some of the Browns picks?
Yeah, I think they did pretty well. The Carson Schwessinger pick caught me a little bit off guard, but that was obviously because we didn't know what was happening with JOK.
Right.
After that, it made a lot of sense. Then also like the double dipping they did at running back and obviously at quarterback, I really liked. So yeah, very very talented class, bunch of young guys, bunch of talented guys, which is exactly what this team needs right now. Building for the future because. To be honest, it's not going to be that pretty this season, probably.
Right.
It's going to be a lot of evaluating.
Spoiler alert! Yeah.
So what were your thoughts on Shedeur Sanders before the draft?
I liked him just from watching tape. I think I had him as my second QB, actually, just ahead of Jackson Dart, but I had them kind of in a tier together. And obviously the offense he ran in Colorado wasn't greatest thing to grade him off, because it was basically just go balls and screens and check downs. But I did think he did a lot of nice stuff at Colorado, and was definitely better than, than where he actually ended up getting picked. So I thought like the first round hype, or the early first round hype for him, maybe was a bit too far, but I thought he would be a day 2 pick for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of interesting how that all happened. So I guess we'll see how the season unfolds and how the Browns proceed from here. A lot of talk about what's going to happen with him and what the Browns are going to do in the 26 NFL draft, but that's pretty far in the future. We have a lot of time to talk about that, so we're going to talk about other stuff now. So, Browns news. Really, the main things out there right now are just how guys are progressing on their injuries, and most guys who are coming back from the injuries right now were limited in practice. I think Mike Hall Jr. is the only guy who did not practice at all. Pretty much everybody else, Posick, Diabate, and some of the other guys were limited. So I think there's probably a lot of hope that most everybody's going to be healthy for this game, but we'll see what happens. The other quote unquote news is just, and it's not really news. It's just things are leaking out that that Quinshon Judkins is close to signing, but there's really no updates on it.
Right.
No idea of what's going to happen, when he's going to sign, what's going to happen after he signs. We don't know what the NFL is going to do or when. We don't know how long it'll be before Quinshon Judkins is ready to play, if he needs a week or two or not before he gets out there. So
I don't know if any of that's based in fact, Rod, or if it's just supposition based on the fact that the Browns released Pierre Strong. I mean, he was waived with an injury designation, so he went to IR, and he had to be procedurally dealt with at some point, or he was going to end up on the IR for the full season. So they elected to release him yesterday, I believe, so that he could hopefully catch on with another team when he got through the concussion protocol. Versus if he'd have stayed here, he would have had to miss the whole season. So that move sort of kind of freeing up a spot in the running back room, even though we have, five other running backs on the roster right now.
Yeah, five now.
Made some people, I guess, think that the Judkins things was getting close, but I haven't really heard anything that makes me believe that it is. It just seems to me like we're probably still talking about him missing a good chunk of the season, if not redshirting this season. So I'm not going to get too excited about him being back. I think we have to go with what we have.
Yeah, what do you think, Jonathan? Do you expect him to sign and to play for the Browns anytime soon?
To be honest, I've been pushing the whole Quinshon Judkins thing a little bit away from me, because I was at the start of the off season. I was just excited to get some football related Browns news with the whole Deshaun Watson debacle in the review mirror, and now we're on the same topics again.
Right,
So,
right. We don't need any more legal problems.
Right.
Yeah, that's
right
for sure. But I think probably he will sign at some point this season, and I think running back is a position where you can get up to speed fairly quickly. So if the NFL isn't suspending him for the entire season, I think there's probably a chance that he'll see the field at some point.
Yeah,
but also
Jonathan?
pretty excited for Dylan Sampson, so I'm not too mad that he's missing sometimes. So we get to see Sampson carry the ball a little bit and see what he can do.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what you thought of the running back room as it stands right now with Sampson and the other two guys, Sanders
Was Raheem
and
Sanders
Ford.
on your radar at all, Jonathan? Going into the draft?
Didn't watch him, I think. No, I watched like 24 running backs, but Raheem Sanders
Yeah.
wasn't on the list. But basically,
He was kind of in the
basically
weeds,
because-
yeah.
Yeah, but this draft was just crazy deep in terms of running back talent. So
Right.
even the
Yeah.
24
Yeah.
running backs I watched were all draftable, and I think
Right.
were all drafted. So yeah. But I heard a lot of good things about him on Twitter and watching the preseason games. I think there's some good things he can do for this team, even if he might not be there for long. But we'll see.
Right. Yeah, I
Yeah,
hope
I
he
mean,
gives us that big back that we're lacking right now.
Yes.
Yeah, hope so.
But also he has some legit speed for like 230-pound running back. He can hit the holes and take off, which is definitely a skill this Browns offense could use.
For sure.
Yeah, I feel like even though this team was counting on Judkins to start, this running back room is still pretty strong. I think they could surprise a lot of people.
Sure.
Obviously adding Judkins would help, but yeah, I think they have a nice mix of backs in that room. So I think it could be fun to watch. Definitely.
Yeah, and they're not doomed without Judkins, so I think they can survive without him.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. So that's you guys see anything else in the news that's really worth talking about? I didn't really have anything else there.
No.
I think it's been
So-
pretty quiet the last couple of days.
It really has been, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Um,
been off, just getting prepped for the start of the season.
Yeah. I don't think we need to talk about all the quarterback nonsense. That is what it is. So we've talked about it a lot already. So yeah. So let's just dive into the season opener, Browns against the Bengals, and let's just talk a little bit about that game, and then we'll come back to afterward. We'll talk a little bit about what this season means, and what we're expecting out of this season. I think it'd be fun just to talk about the game first and kind of what we're expecting there and some
Do
of
you
the
wanna-
matchups and things like that.
Do you want to hold predictions for a while?
Yeah, we'll talk about the game and then do predictions.
Okay.
You mean predictions for the game?
Yeah, game predictions. Yeah. At the end?
Yeah, we'll do those at the end.
Okay.
Score predictions. Yeah.
That's how we have historically done it.
Yeah, I know we usually do the game. We usually do the game last, but I'm just feeling just wild and crazy tonight, Jeff. So, so let's talk about the game because it's the first game of the season.
Yep.
And there are so many thoughts out there about this season, and we'll get to those thoughts later. But I think people are going to form the basis of what people are thinking right now about what this season is could change based on how this game goes. So I think I'm not talking about the game being big or anything like that because every game is important, but just how people see this season and how many wins they think the Browns are going to get, and are the Browns trying to win? Is this a full rebuild and all that stuff? That can all change depending on what happens in this game. So I think this game is it's very interesting, and the matchups are always interesting against the Bengals. So let's just start out talking about the game, and we're not going to do our predictions yet, but the game's in Cleveland, obviously. The Bengals are favored by 5.5 points, and the over-under is 47.5. We'll talk scores later.
Okay.
But
Something to
but
think
yeah,
about.
something to think about. So the I'm trying to remember. The Bengals have lost in Cleveland how many straight times now? 3 straight times, or is
I
it
think
more
it's
than
three.
that?
Yeah, I think it's
I
three in
think
Cleveland.
3 straight times. And let's be honest, guys. Both of these teams generally have a problem winning at the beginning of the season.
Yes.
They just do. But the Browns usually play pretty well against the Bengals, and they play even better against the Bengals when they're at home.
Mm-hmm.
The other side of it is the Bengals played starters a lot in the preseason, seemingly trying to get ready for this game. Like it's really important to them. So there's that too. So Jeff, how do you see this game? What are the key matchups, key players? I mean, it feels like a dumb question because we know what the key matchups are, but go ahead. How do you see it?
Well, I mean, the obvious one is the Browns defensive line versus Joe Burrow. If when the Browns have been successful against the Bengals, the defensive line has exerted a lot of pressure on Joe Burrow, giving him not a lot of time to think about what he's doing, not a lot of time to get through his progressions, and have gotten to him on occasion. So if we can speed up his clock in week 1, and that's probably why the Bengals were trying to get him live game reps, was to speed up his clock, get him ready for week 1. But I don't think he is going to be ready for the type of pressure that the Browns will put on him right out of the gate. We saw a little bit of it in the preseason of how attacking the defensive line is going to be. That will be the difference in the game. The Browns can exert a ton of pressure on him.
Yeah. Jonathan, in your opinion, does Joe Burrow get out of this game alive?
Very good question. Obviously, for the sake of competitiveness, I hope so. Because losing him week 1 would be not good for the Bengals. But especially that O-line from the Bengals. I think they got a rookie starting at left guard or something, Dylan Fairchild from Georgia, who hasn't really looked good in college or in preseason. So he's, I think, gonna be a true weakness that the Browns could explore, especially with Schwartz being known for moving his defensive linemen around. If you can get Myles Garrett on a one-on-one matchup with him, I think that's not going to be easy for him to handle.
Right.
Yeah.
And especially
definitely.
the pass rush from the inside. I think the Browns did a very good job of amping up in this offseason, bringing in Malik Collins from the Niners, obviously Mason Graham, the rookie draft pick. So I think that's going to be, especially pressure from the inside with all the attention going to the outside with Myles Garrett, is going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, I agree. So it almost feels like that portion of the game, Browns defense against the Bengals offense, is going to dictate what happens in this game. But that's only half the game, right, guys? So you got the Browns offense against the Bengals defense, and gosh, I'm afraid to make fun of the Bengals defense, but man, they look horrible. They look horrible. I mean, they didn't have Trey Hendrickson out there in the preseason, but he's a great player, but he's one player too. I feel like they don't have much of anything behind him. So yeah, you have to account for him, but man, it's you want to feel like the Browns offense is going to at least be a little bit better than last season with the guys they've added and the changes they've made.
Right.
So, I mean, second and third team offenses were scoring against the Bengals starters in preseason. And I know it's preseason, but I think you have to like your chances of being able to at least put up some points against this Bengals defense.
And they got a new defensive coordinator, so which could be a good thing, but also maybe a bad thing if communication isn't up to speed yet. You gotta get him settled in, so maybe the Browns can throw some wrinkles at him, and, try to get the best of him.
Yeah. How how quickly do you guys think the Browns offense
Gel?
will gel, or will go from vanilla to to a little more exotic as the season goes on? How much do you think we'll see out of this offense in the first few weeks, guys?
I think by naming Joe Flacco the starter, I think they can definitely do some of the exotic stuff earlier because he's been in this offense in 2023. We know that he can produce in this offense. He's very familiar with it, which would have been a problem, honestly, if any of the rookies started week 1. So I really like getting the vet out there week 1 and easing the rookies in. But I don't think there's gonna be training wheels on this offense at all. I think they could very well come out week 1 and start firing already.
Yeah.
I expect to see at least one reverse or jet sweep with Isaiah Bond.
Let's hope it works. Not a
Seems to
10-yard
be
loss.
what they're gearing us up for. Yeah, probably not a ton of exotic stuff in week 1, but I would expect at least it to be of an offense that plays with some pace. That Flacco will be structured in how he throws the ball around, as opposed to the last time we saw him play in a Browns uniform where he was throwing it to the wrong color jerseys. So let's play with some pace and take the easy throws. I don't think we need to trick the Bengals. The Bengals defense, we don't need to trick them. We just need to play a sound game. And the fact that the Browns have been really clean to this point in the preseason offensively is a really good sign for that.
Are you guys optimistic about the running game? Especially, I think this is a good week to try it out too, even though Joe Flacco may, be in a good position to be able to throw the ball against the Bengals.
Yeah.
I think you want to run the ball too. So,
oh yeah, the more you can run the ball, the less time Flacco's on the field. Right.
Right.
I mean,
right. Right. Question is, do you think they'll be able to successfully run the ball?
Or not Flacco. I said Flacco. I meant Burrow. Yeah. The less time Burrow's on the field. Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't laugh quite so hard.
Yeah.
The less we have to count on Flacco to win it for us. But yeah, I want to keep Joe Burrow on the sideline by running the ball effectively.
This is true. Yeah. So sounds like Jerome Ford's going to be the starter. Do you guys think that we're going to see 3 backs in this game, or do you think it's going to be kind of limited to Burrow? Now you got me saying Burrow. I don't think Burrow's going to be carrying the ball to Ford and Dylan Sampson primarily in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it will be because Sanders was there like for 1.5 weeks or something, so he's probably still learning the playbook a little bit. And Sampson had the whole off season to prepare.
I think the only thing that would change that is if the game became one-sided. Then I think you might see Raheem Sanders.
That makes sense.
Some Aiden Huntington at fullback.
Right.
I can see Huntington at fullback and Sanders at halfback, and especially if they get down to the goal line, something like that. If they feel comfortable giving him a carry down there. But I mean, yeah, that could be interesting. But I mean, the whole with me living in Bengals territory and seeing the news and stuff, it's all about the Bengals. They make it sound like the Bengals added these guys when what they did was paid a lot of money to guys they already had.
Right.
And I'm not knocking it because I mean, obviously Burrow and Chase and Higgins are excellent players who can do a lot, but it's the same cast of characters. And granted, those 3 guys can put up a lot of points, but I feel like they probably lost more than they gained this offseason. more than likely. So
Yeah.
I think people bet on the fact that Joe Burrow is going to carry this team and the offense is going to outscore what their defense can give up. And I don't know. I think their defense is going to really have to prove that they can play some ball,
Right.
Because we'll see. Because I mean, Joe Burrow's a great quarterback, but teams can find ways to slow guys like that down too.
Right.
So, what else do you guys see in this game? That's I don't know. Do you see an edge for either team beyond the players?
I think for the Browns, getting the Bengals at home in week 1 is actually pretty. Or that's the week that you want them to have at home, because they've been that bad in recent years in opening games, and I think especially on the road. I searched that up a couple of days ago. I think the last opening road game they won was in like 2018. So
Right.
For the
well
Bengals,
for them to start off well. So like the Bengals are a very good team, even with the holes they got. So anytime you can get them in a favorable situation, I think that's good for the Browns. Just winning these
Right.
AFC North matchups will be just very, very important for them if they want to make any kind of noise this year.
Yeah, I think being able to have a favorable game week 1 can really set the tone for that tough stretch that we have through the first 5 or 6 games of the season. If they can get a win and play some pretty decent football in week 1, it makes them believe that they can start to compete with some of these better teams. So not to say that you're going to go 6-0, but at least you're going to be competitive in those games early in the year, and the wind's not going to be out of their sails by week 6, right? So setting the tone in week 1, I think, is important.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, people, regardless of what this Bengals team is, how bad their defense is, they have those guys on offense, and they are seen as one of the elite teams in the AFC. Whether their play shows that overall as a team this year or not, they have some stars on offense, and I think it could definitely help the Browns to, if they get a win, it'd be really big. So,
absolutely.
My main concern, Rod, is that I don't want it to come down to a field goal with our rookie kicker. I'd like it to be one-sided in our favor. That would make it a little bit easier to not have to count on him to win a game for us.
He spells his name the wrong way, right, Jonathan?
Schmidt.
Yeah.
Germany would probably be spelled a little different.
Just a little.
Yeah, the Browns made some good experiences with rookie kickers in week 1. I think it was Kate York's rookie year where they played the Panthers in week 1 and he kicked the game-winning field goal. So maybe that gets some of that magic back.
I think that was the only field goal he made that year too, wasn't
it?
Maybe. Might actually have been.
Yeah.
Kickers.
I don't know, Jeff. I would almost rather see our rookie kicker out there than Hopkins, because I think everybody just completely lost faith in him, including Dustin Hopkins.
Obviously so would the team, because they went with him. So I just think it's a little different. I mean, he showed against the Rams that he could kick a game-winning field goal. It may be just a little bit different in week 1 when it really matters, but
absolutely.
I hope we don't have to put him in that position.
I hope not, but it's coming.
Right.
Just for that reason. Just for that exact reason. So
now we jinxed
it. Jeff jinxed it. So I mean, really, for me, diving a little deeper on the offense, Bengals offense versus the Browns defense. I mean, yeah, it comes down to that defensive line versus the Bengals offensive line. But the other thing is that has really helped the Browns over the past few seasons has been the Browns corners on the Bengals receivers. And the Browns obviously still have Denzel Ward, but they don't have Martin Emerson out there. So, so they can put Denzel on Jamar Chase and hope to slow him down. I mean, he's not going to shut him out. Hopefully he'll get a pick six or something. But hopefully he holds Jamar Chase to not too many catches and eliminates any touchdowns, things like that. But I think it's going to depend on how the rest of the Browns corners can handle the other Bengals receivers too. But again, that's a function of that defensive line, how much time they give Burrow. So,
Right.
But if those corners can hold those receivers down for the 2 seconds, that Burrow's going to have to throw, then we could be in business.
I'm also
Most
very
definitely.
excited to see Newsom back on the outside. With the Emerson injury obviously sucks, but having him moving from the slot back to his more natural position on the outside might be a bounce back season for him in a contract year as well. So that's
Exactly. He's
also-
got every reason to go out there and play well, right?
yes.
Yeah. He has his chance to prove it to everybody what he can do and to make some money, whether it's here
Yeah.
or someplace else. Absolutely.
Right.
Okay, so we'll get back to the game with predictions, unless you guys have something else you want to bring up about that game. But I think we're all just ready to watch it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't wait to have NFL football back on for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's coming up. So let's shift back to the 2025 season and just the meaning of this season, because there's a lot of talk. We've talked a lot about it too. What is this season? What are the Browns trying to do? What do they want to get out of it? I thought we'd kind of break it down between different areas. So, what does this season mean for the front office and coach, and then for the players? So, I guess the first question is for the front office and the coach. I'm going to group them together. If you guys want to split them up because you see them as, to where, it's possible that the Browns keep one and not the other. If something happens in the next few seasons, that's fine. But for this season, I guess, first of all, do you guys feel like these guys are on any kind of hot seat? Is there a quota for games they have to win? Or is this strictly a rebuilding year? Is this a year, that they're trying to evaluate things like that? So I want to get your thoughts on that first, Jonathan.
Yeah, maybe I wouldn't say hot seat, but I think the seat gets a little warmer for sure. But what I really loved about this offseason is that they basically gave Stefanski the keys for this offense back. With Dorsey last year, I think it was very ticky-tack between those two calling plays, and they didn't really have an offensive identity. So I think that's what the Stefanski, or getting Stefanski the keys back, will absolutely do for them. And I hope that's what we see, getting like these 2023, 2022 offenses back with a lot of under center play action, wide zone running plays. And I think if we can see that from them this season, I think the Browns will probably give Stefanski at least another year to trying to find out what the starting quarterback will look like. And also, I think they'll have at least 2 different starting quarterbacks this season. So it will be a lot of evaluation, but that's probably more for the player part of this segment. And also Andrew Barry as the GM, I think he gets hated on a lot, which is fair because of the Deshaun Watson move that basically blew up this whole organization for the last couple of years. But outside of that move, I think he did a pretty good job actually over these couple of years, especially in the trades. Like he got Amari Cooper for a 5th-round pick, who was Pro Bowl receiver for them 2 years in a row. Now Jerry Jeudy last season also looked very, very good. So even if you think him a little bit for not drafting great receivers, he still gets some talent on this roster, especially with the lack of draft capital and the money to spend in free agency. I thought he did a pretty good job these couple of years, keeping this thing somewhat alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go to you, Jeff.
From the Andrew Berry perspective, I think, well, we've mentioned it before, Rod, that this being like a pivot year, this will really determine Andrew Berry's legacy in the league. He's what, 35 years old or 33 years, something like that. I mean, he's a young guy, right?
Yeah.
But I think his ability to guide this organization through that fiasco, yes, it was of his own doing, but to guide this organization through that fiasco and get us back on the right track will cement his legacy in the NFL. So the fact that there's 12 rookies on the roster this year will ultimately say, yes, he's able to take what was a very old roster last year, pivot it into a very young roster this year, find talent in some unconventional ways, and quickly change the direction of a franchise. Now, you could make the argument that 2 years ago this was a playoff organization, but we never had the quarterback. So if he's able to do that, get us back on the right track, and they can find their quarterback either this year or next year, I think Andrew Berry's legacy is pretty much cemented, that he is one of the top GMs in the league. That's, for me, that's the measuring stick for him. He's got to solve that quarterback problem, though. As far as Stefanski, Kevin goes, look, I think he already has a reputation around the league of being one of the top coaches. He just doesn't have the winning record because of the organizational failings. I think if he was put into a quality organization with the right amount of talent, Kevin Stefanski would be a perennial top 10 coach in this league. He's won Coach of the Year twice. He would not look for a job long if the Browns moved off of him. So is the seed a little warm to win? Of course. I think we definitely need to have some wins this year, but we also need to address all those other the things that I talked about from a roster standpoint to get the right players in place to really see what Kevin Stefanski can do. You know, to this point, we've seen him run with 9 different quarterbacks or 11 different quarterbacks or whatever. I don't know how many quarterbacks he's had since he's been. It's been a lot, yeah. So I would like to see what Kevin Stefanski can do with a quarterback that he believes in, that he signed off on, and that he has the right time to build an offense around. So the team will be better. Just getting rid of Ken Dorsey is going to make the team better. If everything else falls into place, this year, this team can be on the right path next year. And I know the fans don't want to wait, but that's what happens when you screw up as big as you did with number 4.
Yeah, it's unfortunate,
exactly
but
the goal
absolutely right
of this season to kind of get back on track. You don't have to win a lot of games. It's just you want to see improvement. You want to see the offense execute better. You want to see some sort of plan for the future.
Right.
I think that's the biggest thing this year.
I agree. That's what Miles wanted to see, and he signed on. So hopefully it's there.
And I think that part of Andrew Berry is going to be seeing this draft class and all the UDFAs that they brought in that made this team,
Yep.
seeing these guys perform this year, that's going to, obviously add to his legacy, because this shapes up to be a class that that people could look back at and say, wow, that was a heck of a draft class. That was a heck of a haul, all the guys he brought in that year. And a lot of people don't want to hear that, because a lot of people don't like Andrew Berry. They want him gone because of Deshaun Watson and because of some other things, guys that didn't make the team, and the Jed Wills pick and all this and that. But there, for each one of those, and you can't mitigate the Deshaun Watson pick, but there are things like the Amari Cooper trade, and there are other good things that he has done. This draft class and the potential that he would have with next year's picks are things that could definitely win people over to say, wow, he's really doing a good job now. So yeah. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, and this is the first time he'll have some draft capital, because basically since like the 2021 draft, they didn't have a first round pick. So now this year they have one very high one, and next year they'll have two. That's definitely some capital to work with for him.
It's got to be tough as a GM to be graded on whether your third and fourth round picks contribute to the team or not. I mean, seriously, yeah. You're picking guys in the it's 70 and at 110 and whatever, and they're supposed to be stars, because those are the picks you have. People are mad that you didn't pick somebody who's not around in 2 years. So, so he hits on some of those and he misses on some of those. I think that's how most GMs are. The great GMs, they find more guys down there, but Andrew Berry's found a few guys there too. But up to this point, he's done some good and some bad. I think this draft class is a chance for him to for something for people to look back at to say, wow, this really helped the organization. And, and then hopefully it's something he can build on if he's still around. So, so let's talk about what the season means for the players, because you got a lot of young guys here who are trying to prove something. These UDFAs, they're guys who knows? They don't know what their career is. Some of these guys could potentially, some of these guys could be out of football if they don't perform well this year. Some of these guys could be around for 10 years if they do perform well. They could be on a different team next year if there's a new regime put in place. How do you feel if you're a Browns player on this team and kind of not really knowing what the future is?
I mean, that's probably always tough, but I would say the UDFAs on this team, especially the two wide receivers, definitely have a chance of making an lasting impact and getting some touches in the coming years as well, especially if they do turn to Shedeur Sanders at some point, because he had like great chemistry with Larva Dane in camp and through preseason. So I think he would probably be a guy they would turn to if they give Sanders a shot this year. Then the depth guys, I think on defense was mostly depth guys as UDFAs. They might stick around for special teams, but especially at safety, I thought Andrew Berry did a great job of finding UDFA talent. Like they had D'Anthony Bell, who was a great special teams contributor and even played some defense in like 2021. Ronnie Hickman, their starting free safety, he was a UDFA. So now with Donovan McMillan, I mean, who knows? Maybe he'll be in the safety rotation next year with the two veterans on like Kazee and Jenkins.
A lot of people like him.
1-year deals. So I think he's definitely in place for a spot in the rotation in the coming years.
Yeah. We talked a week or two ago, Rod, about how that has to this point really been an untapped source of players in the NFL. Going out and making UDFA signings, priority UDFAs, bringing guys in who slipped through the draft process for whatever reason. And I mean,
Yeah.
Isaiah Bond, for instance, most of us who followed the draft had him as an early day 2 pick,
Mhm.
based on his talent, right?
Yeah.
He slid down and out of the draft completely because of the allegations. So I think that's a calculated risk on Andrew Berry's part to go out and find talent that through unconventional ways. I think of all the UDFAs, probably Isaiah Bond has the best chance of being a long-term contributor. Just based on how thin we are at wide receiver. So he'll probably
Well,
get
based on the contract too. Yeah.
right. Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he's going to be here for sure.
3
But-
years, right?
Yeah, but based on where we are with other options, I think he's got a great chance. And yeah, if we can solve problems like we did with Ronnie Hickman, I think that's again kind of above and beyond what you expect from a GM.
Yeah.
To find starters in that process, you'd like to find
Right.
depth there. But, to find starters there, it's like you had an extra mid-round pick.
Yeah, you really feel like some of these guys are going to contribute during the season. So, I mean, yeah, you don't want a lot of them starting, but I'll be shocked if Aiden Huntington doesn't make some impact plays this year, wherever he's playing. He's just that kind of
Offense,
player.
defense, or special teams.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah. I mean,
right.
And there are other guys in that group. And I saw a graphic, the about UDFA's making the team, and the Browns have 6 this year. The
Right.
Minnesota Vikings had 7.
Yeah.
Of course, their GM used to work for the Browns, so I
Right.
think he learned that somewhere.
Yeah.
It's probably not a coincidence.
Right.
But yeah, so Andrew Berry's not the only one doing it, but like you said, Jeff, it is very impressive to be able to. It's almost like free draft picks, It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, very nice job.
And I
So
also felt like Andrew Berry doesn't really like his late round draft picks. Like he trades those 7th and 6th round picks away each year, and that's
Yeah.
probably plays that you might even get as UDFAs in those rounds. So I
Right.
feel that's like he's just switching the late round picks for UDFAs.
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
even been guys on the practice squad that you
Yes.
could have gone and drafted right in the late rounds, but they end up here
Mhm.
anyway. So, good point. I think, contractually, it probably makes a lot more sense to bring these guys in as UDFAs.
Yeah, I would think that maybe it depends on the particular draft class, but it feels like Andrew Berry almost sees, maybe somewhere in the 6th round to 7th round that the pool of players left is kind of pretty close, and that
Yeah,
he
there's not a lot
can-
of difference. Yeah.
not a lot of difference. So why do I need to use those picks?
Right.
I can trade those picks into the future, get higher picks for them, or use those picks to move up, and I can get some UDFAs out of that larger pool.
Yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense. If you have the ability to pull the right guys out of that pool, and bring them in and have them make your team, you're doing something right, definitely. So
Yeah.
make
the team contribute and stay on the team. And,
That's right.
and, yeah, that'll be great.
That's right. So so that's our Andrew Berry Love Fest segment for the show. It doesn't do everything wrong. So
Well, no, but like you said, that this year's important. I mean, in terms of
It is.
rebuilding the team, and if those 12 rookies can turn into 2 or 3 or maybe 4 significant players, that's a big deal.
it is. It really is. Yeah.
I think there's a very, very good chance that happens.
Yeah, I mean,
I
there's a
think
good
so,
chance. I
too.
think that we could have 3 or 4 Pro Bowlers out of this group, just depending on how much they play. Is it unrealistic to think that the first 3 picks could be Pro Bowlers? Right? I mean, Mason Graham almost has to be. And then your 2 second-round picks, I feel like, were like late first-round picks almost. They both
They
should
could
have
be.
a good shot at being Pro Bowlers. So, geez, just think if Shedeur Sanders turns into your franchise quarterback, this could be one of the greatest drafts of
Yeah.
all time, right?
Yeah.
At least as far
Yeah.
as Browns go, our organization.
Well, yeah, that's
So I
not
don't think
saying a
that's a
lot. But,
stretch. I mean,
yeah.
it's not a stretch. I mean, it's wishful thinking at this point, but it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah,
Might
yeah,
wanna
and there
throw
are other
Fannin in
guys
there as
there
well.
yeah, Fannin. Yeah, Fannin could be your starting tight end in the future. Yeah,
Really
they
big
definitely
fan
have a
of that
shot.
pick.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think we all saw just in seeing a couple plays from Harold Fannin. I think we're pretty excited about him. So,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Especially in
so
the Stefanski offense with 12 personnel, going back to 12 personnel, he's going to be like that big slot, almost receiver type, which in the thin receiving room is also
No
a very
doubt.
good
yeah,
thing to have.
it's exciting.
So, yeah, very
Exciting.
excited about him.
Yep. Yep.
So let's talk some player predictions, guys. Anybody you want to talk about? Just maybe a prediction for this season. I don't want to go through positions or anything. Just anybody you want to pull out and some stats or even games played or anything like that you want to predict for the season. I'll give you a second. I guess if you have something, you can just go ahead.
You have something, Jonathan?
Yeah,
I've
I'm
got
really
one.
excited about. Yeah, okay, then you go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just going to say, I think the first guy off the practice squad is going to be Malachi Corley. There's a receiver that they've got from the Jets off waivers. They're going to want to take a look at him. So I
Okay.
think first receiver to get hurt or underperform is going to get replaced by Malachi Corley. And I think there's a very good chance that DeAndre Carter is the first guy off the squad for obvious reasons.
We've talked about the dangers of returning kicks in Cleveland. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
So,
That return
probably a
specialist
safe bet.
didn't really work out the last
Yeah,
couple of years.
I like that. Do you expect the Browns to be able to figure him out a little bit, Jeff, to kind of get him righted and
I
have
don't
him
know.
hopefully contribute a little bit?
I don't know if I'd go that far. I mean, they tried it with Deontay Johnson and it didn't work. So
Well, he's a
maybe
lot younger guy though. Corley's what in
Yeah.
like his third season?
year 3, I
something like
think.
that.
Yeah, or 4,
Yeah.
3 or 4. Yeah, 3. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's definitely somebody that they're going to want to look at. I don't know for how long or how successful it'll be, but I think it's a safe bet that he'll be the first guy off the practice squad.
And also with his frame, they might even want to throw some trick plays in there. I think Elijah Moore got some snaps out the backfield, so maybe do that
Right.
with Corley. He's like good
Yeah.
20 pounds heavy, I think. So
We know Stefanski loves that kind of stuff, right?
We're always looking for somebody to take that 12-yard loss. Make things interesting.
Right.
So, Jonathan, you have anything?
yeah, I think I want to give a shout out to Carson Schlesinger because I think he's gonna have a lot on his plate in year 1 with basically being the green dot guy from week 1 as a rookie. But I really liked him in preseason, and granted it's only preseason, so it might not be an actual representation of how he's going to be during the season. But I think he showed some very, very good stuff. And also he's more of a prototypical linebacker in terms of size. The Browns had some undersized linebackers and really struggled with run defense and tackling. I think he could be a guy that fixes that problem. And if JOK can come back healthy next year, that's going to be a very, very scary linebacking duo.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. Well, I think that gosh, guys, I want to predict something about this defensive line. I'm not even sure which direction to go. I feel like Isaiah McGuire is going to get more sacks than what people think because I feel like quarterback's going to almost run into him on some plays because they're running away from the other guys the other direction. And I'm not taking anything away from Isaiah McGuire. I just feel like the other half of that defensive line is going to exert so much pressure that the pocket's going to be pushed over toward Isaiah McGuire, and I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up with 10 sacks this season. It would not shock me at all. Of course, I think Miles will have more than that, but obviously, I think Isaiah McGuire is going to have a nice season this year.
I think Alex Wright's going to be on the field a lot too, Rod, and Alex Wright's probably going to share in some of that.
I think you're right. I think both guys look really nice in the preseason. This defensive line is so deep, so we'll see. Maybe Alex Wright and Isaiah McGuire combined for 12, 13 sacks. That wouldn't shock me at all.
That'd be good.
Not one bit. Yeah. So, any standout players? I know, Jonathan, you wrote a little article about some guys you thought would be guys who would improve this season. Be kind of guys who would take a step this season. Is there anybody in particular you wanted to mention off that list?
I think the O line as a whole will be interesting to watch, because there's a couple of young guys on there, like Zach Zinter, Luke Whippler, some draft picks of the near past. And this offensive line is aging, and they're all going to be free agents after this year, other than DeWan Jones, who we don't really know if he's going to be the starter for long. So I think that unit will be very interesting to watch if there's someone from the young guys that can come up and get himself starting role to solidify this unit a little bit for the future, because it will be really tough for them to find 5 new starters next offseason.
That's a big step. That's a lot, to find that many guys.
Sure.
And I mean, Batonio is going to retire any year from now. Teller hasn't looked himself these last couple of years. Rosick already dealing with injuries. So I think there's going to be some shuffling, unfortunately, during the season. But if they can find out something about their young guys there, I think that's going to be a blessing in disguise at least, and hopefully a good thing for the future.
I agree with you. Jeff, who do you see as
that's for sure an important part, Jonathan. That's an important part of the offense, getting all those guys back on track. So I'm going to say that those guys will get back on track this year, going back to Stefanski's system. Will sort of right the ship from an offensive line perspective. And I think the idea of running the ball more, which everybody is saying is going to happen. The fact that they took two running backs in the draft says it's going to happen. I think the player who's going to benefit from that the most is Jerome Ford. I think this is going to be a breakout year for Jerome Ford. He's going to be put into a slightly different role, and I think it's going to be a great opportunity for him as the quote-unquote elder statesman in the running back room to lead that group and not have everything on his shoulders. So I'm looking for big things from Jerome Ford this year.
I don't disagree with that at all. I think somebody's going to step up in this wide receiver room too, and I so much want it to be Cedric Tillman. It could be Jamari Thrash. Cedric Tillman just can't stay healthy. We've seen flashes. I think Thrash is going to have a decent season. I'm not going to say he's going to have 1,000 yards or anything crazy like that, because our second or third wide receiver is just not going to get that many targets. But if Tillman's healthy, I think he'll get those targets. If he's not, I think it's going to be more Thrash. But one of these guys is going to do enough this season to be around in 26. and I'm not looking at contracts right now, but let's face it, if these guys both fizzle out this year, they're not going to be around,
Right.
regardless of what their contract says.
Right.
So I think one of those two guys is going to step up. If I had to guess, I would put my money on Thrash just because Tillman's had such a hard time staying on the field. And then I was going to say Dylan Sampson, but I was thinking more in the third down phase of the game. Not that he's going to lead the rushing attack, but I think he's going to be a nice change of pace guy, and I think he's going to help a lot and make some nice big plays for this team this year. I think it's going to be fun to watch him.
Yep.
Yeah, and I've watched him in college, and he was such a frustrating watch because he's like 5'8", 200 pounds, and they ran him in between the tackles like constantly. So I think this
That's
like
all he
more
did.
white zone.
One
Yeah.
cut,
Yeah,
one
he-
cut
he
between the
was- he wasn't
tackles.
bad at it. Yeah, but maybe if you can get him to the outside and get like some a little bit bigger holes for him to hit, I think he could very well be a lot more productive than he was in college. And in college, he was already pretty productive.
Right.
Oh yeah, he ran for like 1,500 yards last year.
All he did was lead the
season.
country in rushing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, let's get back to the game. All right. Oh, hold on, guys. We got something in the chat here. Oh, Jeremy says Hickman will break out. So, I mean it's kind of a crowded free safety room, but Ronnie Hickman is the starter. So, what do you guys think of that? Do you think he's going to play well enough to keep that starting job, and that he's going to do well and hold, and break out like Jeremy said?
Yeah, I've been a big fan of Hickman, and especially if they want to split the safety group into more like free and strong safeties, I think he's definitely the best free safety on that roster right now. But we've seen Schwartz being like versatile with his safeties, putting also the free safeties in the box, which is something he can do as well. So I'm very excited for Hickman.
Yeah.
Stepping into the starting role that he definitely earned, I think, over the last couple of years, because he's been, every time they counted on him, he's been reliable. He's been a great contributor in the defensive backfield, and I'm very excited for him to get a starting opportunity now.
Yeah.
And Ronnie was an opportunistic safety, Rod, at Ohio State, and I don't think we've really seen enough of that here with the Browns. Early on in his first season, we saw it in the preseason a little bit, where he had, I think, 3 interceptions in the preseason. If he, going into this year, knowing he's the starter, can have that kind of impact, that would be awesome. And I think it would answer a lot of questions that I have about the secondary, being able to create some turnovers.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jeff. Safety's kind of been the concern, that spot. So if he could really prove himself and do well there, then just one more issue resolved, definitely.
And I think he's going to get some good runway as well, because I don't think they'll put Kazee or Jenkins over him in the depth chart if he doesn't play horrible. Because both those guys are veterans on 1-year deals. So it's going to be awesome, I think.
All right, guys, let's get back to the game. So, Browns entertain the Cincinnati Bengals and maybe a few other fans, and Bengals are favored by 5.5. The over/under is 47.5, and it is the moment of truth. We're going to give our score predictions. Mine is already written down in ink. So.
Mine is too.
So, Jonathan, we usually let the guest go first, right, Jeff?
Yep.
And the guest usually wins too. So that's the last season. We'll see what happens this season.
So I have to pick the Browns here.
You can pick whoever you want, and you can give the score. And if you want to predict a highlight of the game or something special, you could do that too.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a close game. I don't think the Bengals will be running away with it. I think, let's say 21-17 for the Bengals. So I'm not sure. I'm quite ready to put this Browns team above the Bengals. I think they do have a good shot at home, but this Bengals offense, if they can come out firing, I think it's gonna be tough.
So you're picking the Browns to lose 21-17.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
That's okay. And the
Got
under.
it.
Yeah.
You're taking the under at 38 points. Okay.
Okay.
So Jeff, what do you have?
Well, I'm going to flip that. I actually have the Browns winning this one. And I have to say that, 5 or 6 weeks ago, I wouldn't have felt confident in doing that. But I really have gained in terms of comfort with what's happened this preseason, week by week. The Browns look ready to play. They all of the starters got some game time action in the preseason this year, with the exception of Miles, I think.
He doesn't need it.
Right, which that didn't happen last year, and you heard me complain about it last year extensively. So I think they're going to be ready to play this season. I'm still not sold on doing well in this long first stretch of quality opponents, but I think this is a winnable game. To your point earlier, Rod, playing Joe Burrow in Cleveland, our defense is going to come out and throw some things at him that he hasn't seen. And 2 years ago, when Jim Schwartz debuted for the Browns in Week 1, it was a slaughter. The defensive line was dominant, and I expect to see that in this game. I think our offense is probably going to struggle a little bit to score points. I think we're going to end up kicking some field goals. So Andre Schmidt's going to have his work cut out for him. But I'm going to go with 23-17 Browns. So I'm of course taking the under. That's a given, at least for the first several weeks of the season. But I think it's going to be well played game on our offense's part. I just think they'll have a little bit of difficulty scoring touchdowns. So keep the defense in the game. Give them a rest from time to time, and I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah. I'm with you, Jeff. I'm thinking the same thing. I have it even lower scoring, which might be crazy. I just have a lot of faith in this defensive line, and I could see it happening the way it's happened some games in the past. So I have the Browns winning 20-13, but very similar score, very similar thoughts. But we are all taking the under. 47.5 just seems like a lot with this Browns defense and with the Browns offense. I don't expect the Browns to put up 30 points, and I don't think the Browns defense is going to give up 30 points or even 25. So yeah, I'm with you.
I don't think we had an over under that high at all last year. And I think there was only one. There was only one game where we scored that even close to that many points between the two teams. I think it was the Denver game, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty solid with the under on this game.
Yeah, I am too. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think whoever figures that is thinking the Bengals.
Jeremy is taking the over with a total of 55 points scored. Okay, Jeremy.
Not a lot of stock in our defense on that one, giving up 24.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens, Jeremy. All right, guys. Let's go ahead.
I would like nothing better than for it to be a laugher like that.
Well, you know what? I think we'd like to get a win, but
Yeah.
you know, whatever happens, we want to see a football game, and hopefully
Yep.
it's a good one. So
Yep.
so all right, so guys, let's get some closing thoughts. Jonathan, it's been great talking to you. I know
Thank you.
you're probably ready for bed, so it's been a lot of fun talking to you. We really appreciate you coming on and talking Browns. What closing thoughts do you have, or anything you'd like to leave anybody who's listening with?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you to you guys too. It's been a lot of fun coming on here for the second time. Yeah, maybe one little fun thing to share. I actually will see my first Browns live game this season because
Awesome.
I got some tickets to London. And I'm gonna see the Week 5 matchup against the Vikings.
Oh,
It's
nice,
gonna be
nice.
Good for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been trying to get some NFL tickets, not even Browns, because they didn't play internationally the last couple of years. But it
Yeah.
was always such a hassle to get them. This time managed to get some high spots in the queue and get some tickets.
I bet those weren't
that's
cheap.
great.
Nope. They weren't
Nope.
cheap at all.
Nope.
It's the price you gotta pay.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you enjoy the game. I hope we give you a good one.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Excellent. All right, Jeff, closing words tonight.
I'm just going to give one more prediction for the game because I think, again, that the defensive line is going to be dominant in this game. So I think the over-under on sacks, and I'm taking the over, is 3.5. I think 2 of them are going to come from Myles Garrett. And Joe Burrow's going to be running for his life the entire game. So that's what's going to make it fun for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm taking that over.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
All right, this has been the Browns Blitz. We thank you all for watching and listening, and we will catch you next.